Hey, college coaches. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We are a startup company based here in Austin, Texas, and we're focused on helping student athletes successfully transition from high school to college and then hopefully into a career in their sport or into a career based on their major. We created the Spotlight podcast to help student athletes show these college coaches during the recruiting process I am not just a football player. I am a person with outside interests, who I am as a son, as a teammate, and all the things about them. And you're letting these coaches know that I'm not just my huddle video and I'm not just my transcript. Before I get started with our guest tonight, I want to talk a little bit about our sponsors. I want to thank Go Edit Graphics. They are a graphics company based out of Nebraska. They do a great job in helping high school and athletic departments who have any outbound communication and want to use some dazzling graphics to get their information about player spotlights, upcoming schedules, any communication that's outgoing to their fan base. They can use Go Edit Graphics, get that message out there. So shout out to them. My other sponsor is Buffalo Wild Wings, one of my favorites. We all love wings, and they do a great job of supporting not just Texas high school athletes, but all across the country. So shout out to my guy, Brian Soltis, the regional VP, who was partnered with me on getting this program out there. Lastly, a good friend of mine, Steph Johnson, owns a company called Epic. Epic stands for Every Play I Compete. They are a really hot apparel company based out of Houston. They do uniforms, they do jerseys, they do hats, they do gloves, they do 7-on-7 jerseys, they do the whole nine. So if you're interested in some really good gear, go to their Twitter. It's I am Epic 24/7 and check out some of their gear. With all that aside, I'm excited tonight. We've got a really exciting prospect, national prospect on the podcast with us tonight. Sean Sallis is a class of 22. He's a wide receiver. He's a tight end. He can play DN. I love athletes that can play multiple positions at a high level, and he does that. We'll talk about that here in a second. He's at Creekview High School up in the Carrollton area, up in the Dallas area. Love his size, 6'5", 222 pounds, first team all district. He's got 7 offers and tracking more north of that. And coach, you can see his Twitter handle there. Sean, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing good.
Man, I am looking forward to you telling your story and letting these coaches know that you're not just another big talented football player. Let's just jump right in. First thing I want to talk about is academics. You know, and I'll be honest, I had to go to a JUCO back in the day and get myself right academically and stuff. But tell us about the importance that you put on your academics.
I put a lot of work in my academics, definitely trying to get this all A's, these A's and B's is, not where I want it to be, but yeah. Okay.
Well, it sounds like you understand from talking with your dad earlier that you understand the concept of I'm a student first and an athlete second. So that's good to know. Tell me what are some of your favorite classes in school right now?
Definitely math. Just comes easy to me,
Okay. And then, there isn't a student athlete that I've worked with over the last 30 years that doesn't have somebody in their life, usually a coach, a teacher, a counselor, maybe an AP, that's had a difference on them academically. Take this time to shout out somebody, whether even all the way back to elementary or middle school or now in high school, that you want to shout out and say, hey, that person made a difference to me academically.
Yeah, I would say my kindergarten teacher. Definitely, it was rough kindergarten year. I could barely read, write. I couldn't do nothing like that. So she definitely helped me out. Her name was Miss McMurphy at Davis Elementary in Carrollton.
Oh, that is awesome that you remember that all the way back to kindergarten. That's awesome. Hey, tell me, do you have an idea what you might want to major in when you get to college?
Yes, I want to go in for business. Start learning a little bit more about real estate.
Real estate, it's good to get into now because real estate is crazy here in Texas with all the people moving in here. So that's good to hear. Sean, another thing that coaches want to know about is your learning style. A great coach understands that every player learns differently. Tell these coaches, would you consider yourself more of a verbal, visual, or hands-on learning style?
I would say like a hands-on learning style.
Okay. Is that both the same in the classroom and on the football field, or do you learn differently in based on the environment?
It's different, like on the environment. I like to work in quiet places for classroom wise. Okay. But like hands-on for football, yeah, for sure.
Okay, good stuff. And then tell me, coaches can't be on campus yet, obviously because of COVID-19 and all what we're going through, but eventually they will. For those college coaches that have not been on campus yet, when they come to class in your campus and they see you in class, what are they going to see? Where you sit? How do you interact with your teacher? How do you interact with your team and with your classmates?
Yes, sir. I sit in front of the classroom like every class. I'm actually online though, so
Right.
but yeah. So last year I was always in the front of the class, raising my hand, asking questions.
Good
Definitely
stuff.
active student.
Okay. Okay. Good stuff. Hey, let's move to talking about you personally. Talk to your dad a little bit earlier. Tell us about the Sallis family. Tell us about what your mom and dad do. Your siblings. Are you the oldest, the youngest, and do you have other athletes in your family?
So I have 4 parents, a stepmom and a stepdad. My dad, he went to Southeastern Oklahoma. He played D tackle there. My mom, she didn't go to college. My stepmom, I believe she did, and my stepdad went to a community college.
Okay.
I am the middle child. I have an older brother and an older sister. She also went to Southeastern. She played, she ran track, and I have a younger sister.
Okay. Tell us right now, every coach is looking at this and going, wow, the kid is 6'5" and he's only a junior. Where is this size coming from? Is it coming from your parents or grandparents?
No, my grandparents, definitely. My dad, he 5'10".
Okay. You say that like it's a bad thing. Give him some love here. 5'10".
Yeah, no.
So let me ask you, you're 6'5" now. I mean, by the time you graduate here in 22, what do you think your height and weight will be by the time you graduate and head on to college?
So I'd say about 6'5" to 235 maybe.
Okay. One of the things I love about your huddle video is the first 3 plays. You line up outside, you catch a touchdown pass. Very next play, coming off the edge, big quarterback sack, strip, scoop and score. Third play, in a tight end, make a big block. Coaches love players that can play multiple positions at a high level. Do you have a preference on what position you want to play at the college level?
I don't. They could put me at quarterback. I really don't care.
I love that. I talk to athletes all the time over the years, and I say, hey, are you a football player or are you a position player? Because if you're a football player, your recruiting is going to have more options. Because one coach may see you as a tight end, another coach may want you as a receiver, another coach may want you as DN. That's more option if you just say, well, I just do this. So I think definitely your dad's did a good job of helping you understand that the more you can do, the more recruiting opportunities you have. Hey, Sean, there's not a college coach in the country that doesn't use Twitter as part of their recruiting. For any coach that has not been to your Twitter page yet, tell them, what are they going to see? What message are you putting out there about yourself and your brand?
They're going to see me working out mostly. And then I have a little bit of family on there too, and also my team,
Okay, good stuff. And then, here's some of my favorite questions. What's your all-time favorite football movie?
Longest Yard.
Okay.
Yeah.
When it's your time to pick, when you guys either go out to eat or for dinner, what's your favorite food?
Steak, but like I got a restaurant, Kobe Steakhouse. It's like a hibachi place. Yeah, that's
okay.
That's good.
I like it. Okay. I don't know if you're into it, but if you could choose whatever superhero to be, which one would you choose to be and why?
I would say Batman.
Okay.
Just because he a billionaire, and yeah, that's basically about it.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that. Okay.
Got a lot of money.
I know you're already up to 7 offers right now, but college coaches will want to know, who aren't on you yet, who's going to be involved in helping you decide what school you'll commit to?
My dad for sure.
Okay. And then, tell us a little bit about, your preference for college. Do you want to stay close to home? You want to go anywhere in the country? What are you looking for from a school as a student athlete?
I really don't care where I go, to be honest with you.
Okay. When a college coach hears that, not me, when I used to recruit, do you prefer to stay close to home because of family, or are you really open to going anywhere in the country and being away from your family?
Open.
Okay, good stuff. There's not a student athlete that doesn't love playing in front of a packed house on a Friday night and showcase in front of the community. I like to flip the script a little bit. What are you doing to give back to your community that comes out and watch you on Friday night? Are you part of your church, nonprofits, Boys and Girls Club? What are you doing to give back to your community?
Me and my uncle, we got like a little baseball team. We teach, I think it's 9-year-olds, I believe, for baseball. Yeah, we teach them. We like 3 and 4, I think. We
Okay.
call you it.
Are you so it begs the question, are you besides football, what other sports you play? Or have you played baseball in your past?
Yes, sir. I stopped my freshman year due to like track because you know I was succeeding more in track than baseball. I just like watching the sport and playing it, but I also play baseball. I mean basketball too.
Okay. Well, I've had son. I got 4 kids. My oldest son played football at Texas and played for the Bills. My youngest son played baseball at Arizona State. You being 6'5", I'm going to guess you either were a pitcher or you played first base. Am I wrong?
You wrong.
What position did you play?
I could never throw, like a curveball or anything like that. I only had a fastball, but I play right field.
Okay. Okay. And how was your bat?
I was definitely a home run hitter.
Okay.
Fourth hole. Oh yeah.
And you mentioned earlier, and there's another thing that college coaches love is they love football players that run track. Tell us about your track experience. Are you doing the field events? Are you running? What kind of experience are you having in track?
We had one track meet so far, and I run the 400 and the 4x4, the 200 and the 100, but I haven't got the ran the 200, 100 yet, official time. But in the open 4, I ran a 51, and then in the 4x4, I ran a 50 flat.
So I come from a track family. I love track athletes. The fact that you said 400 first, usually kids go, I run the 1, the 2, and the 4. And personally, and I know you talked to this, you run the 400, that'll put hair on your chest. That is one of the toughest races at events out of all track, that 4 and the 8. Forget that 100 where you're done in 10 and 11 seconds. To be a man, that last 50 meters of the 400, you got to be built different for that. Talk about your experience in those 3 different events.
Definitely the 400 is by far the hardest race to run. Like you said, that last 50 meters, that's a game changer right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, let's talk a little bit about, one of my favorite questions is, in your dad and I we both understand this. Eventually, the game of football is going to come to an end. And my question to you is, when it comes to an end, whether it's after college or after a 10-year career in the NFL, what do you want your life to look like after football's over?
Like I said, just go back into real estate, really do that, and then come back to my hometown and get back to my community.
Okay. And then as far as, business wise, what do you want to do with that business degree as far as when football's over? You want to be an entrepreneur? You want to run your own business? You want to work for Apple? What do you have planned?
I definitely want to have my own business, probably have like a partnership with my stepdad. He got his own right now, help him out and build his own little legacy.
Okay. Sean, tell me, you played a lot of sports. You're obviously a very talented athlete. What's your favorite sports memory of yourself? Maybe back in Little League, T-ball, basketball, track. What's your favorite moment right now that you go, man, I did that?
It was baseball. It was bases loaded. Last inning, I was up the bat and hit a home run and we won the game. It was actually a championship game too.
Was it a walk-off grand slam?
Yes, sir. That's
okay. Those are the best kind right there.
Yeah.
That's good to know. That's good to hear. Tell me, do you have a favorite quote? And if you do, what is it?
I do. It's by Eric Thomas. He said, "Do what 98% of others won't."
Love that. It's funny you mentioned that because, I just had a conversation this weekend at a camp. There's a lot of kids that want to hate on players, oh, yeah, he sucked and he dropped the ball and this and that, but they're not playing the game. And it's really important for people to understand that to play a sport where you get knocked down, have to get back up and do it again, you have to be cut differently. Talk a little bit about how football has helped mold you as a young man.
It helped me out a lot, just mostly mentally, because, everyone drops balls in games, you can't let that one ball just make your whole game go bad. So that definitely helped me mentally and just throughout my life too.
I think I speak for your dad here, and the fact that you understand that helps you be successful in life after football, because life doesn't always go your way. Sometimes it throws you curves, but as football players, we understand, hey, I dropped the ball, we had lost, but guess what? Monday morning, I can get up and go to work and take care of my family. So I think you get that big time from your dad for sure. Let me ask you this. You know, what do you think? What do you think about what's going on in football right now with everything moving to more of a offensive threat? You know, everybody's going empty backfield and everything's out of gun, which is a lot different from when me and your dad played. How do you like playing those three different positions and having an impact on the game?
I like it a lot. You know, I kind of wish like some teams do run the box because I do like blocking. I love to put people on the ground, you know, but yeah, definitely helps my game out with the shotgun and stuff like that.
Okay. Hey, tell me, does your family or your friends, do you have a nickname that they call you?
No.
Okay, no nicknames. Okay, good stuff. And then what did you learn from this past season that you're working on to improve for next season?
I would say, what did I learn? I would say not giving up. Definitely, we was down by like 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. You know, we was slowly making a comeback, and we ended up losing by 1 point. So it was, yeah, that's what I learned for this all season. You know, just gotta. Okay.
I'll run it back for you.
Man,
I'm gonna ask it a little bit different way this time because that's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this
like
way.
I'm
Take your
talking too
time
much.
here.
You're not talking too much.
No,
You're doing perfect.
I feel like I'm talking too much.
No, you're doing all right. Let me ask it this way. Here we go. So, Sean, you play 3 different positions. You play tight end, you play DN, you play receiver. What are things you're working on to improve yourself in those positions for next year?
I'm mostly working on my quickness and my speed. Those are my main I'm working on. Also my strength. You know, that's a big role in my game right now.
Okay. All right, let's finish up talking about recruiting now. And these are questions that the coaches definitely want to understand. And one of my favorite ones is this one. What makes you a great teammate? How would your teammates describe you as a teammate?
I would say they'd call me funny and just a great teammate. You know, I never talk down bad on them, you know, but when it does come time, you know, like when they get out of pocket or something like that, you know, in a game, like when I see him talking back to a coach, you know, like can't be doing all that, you know, put him in check real quick.
Okay. Sean, tell me, what kind of player are you in pregame? Are you the one that's bouncing around listening to music and getting all hype in the locker room? Or are you the guy quiet in the corner going through the game plan in your mind, getting ready for the game? Which one are you?
Yeah, I'm definitely not the hype up person. I'm the quiet person, got my beats on in my own zone, you know, just getting ready.
I like that. I like that a lot. Tell me, what motivates you? Why do you play the game of football? Why do you love playing the game of football?
I just love the game, you know. The main reason I really started playing was this year or last year. It was a major impact on my life. My uncle passed away, and he was a really impact person on my life. You know, he came to almost all my football games. You know,
I appreciate you sharing that. It sounds very personal, and those are the kind of things. If I know you want to play this game at the highest level, and you need something to motivate you, you have to have something that motivates you to understand your why. Because there's going to be days, and your dad will tell you this. There's days you don't want to work out. There's days I really don't feel like going to 7-on-7 or going to the gym or going to the track. But I want to make sure I make my uncle proud. So kudos to you on sharing that, man. I definitely respect that 100%. Tell me, are you a film study guy? Do you like watching film in preparation each week?
Yes, sir. Me and my dad probably spend 45 an hour just watching film from last game, next game, you know, just seeing who we got next.
Okay. One thing I can tell you and your dad as a best practice that me and my son did, that even when he played in the league, we would put together film notes. He'd have binders of people that he was DB, all the receivers, Calvin Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald. As a young man, I would tell all the young ones in the listen, put together your own files because you're going to play people in district over there, next year and stuff. But even when you get into college, there'll be certain players you're going to face 4 or 5 times. You put together a book on them so when you play them, you know them better than themselves. So that's definitely an advantage, because I can tell you, and your dad can tell you, when you get to college, everybody's big, everybody's fast, and everybody's strong. The difference is your mental preparation for each game. So keep that in mind as you go forward. Tell me, is there a certain player, whether it be a receiver, a tight end, or a DN, that you pattern your game off of? Who do you look up to at the college or pro level?
I would say DK Metcalf. just how his size and how we use our bodies and stuff like that. That's how I choose my game.
Good stuff. I like that. And then tell me, are you playing on a 7-on-7 team right now?
Yes, sir. I play with the Flex, Coach O. He's
Okay.
head.
All right. Talk to us now about a little bit of recruiting. You've got the 7 offers. Tell us about, I won't ask you about who and when, but tell us about your recruiting journey so far. How are you liking it? What's it been like you? How's it changed you? Tell us a little bit about that.
My recruiting is going really good. I really like the getting to know the coaches and stuff like that. They have a really strong background, you know, that I really did not expect, to be honest with you. And yeah, that's
Okay.
what it is.
Tell me that feeling. I know it from being a player myself and all my 4 of my kids who were all D1 athletes. How did it feel to get that first offer? How did you feel to get that confirmation that I'm going to play this game at the college level?
Yeah, that was definitely like a wow, you know, like I really just got an offer, a Division I offer. You know, that's not a lot of people get that. So.
That's right. Actually, only 3% of high school student athletes will play in college, and less than that go FBS. So kudos to you on your hard work paying off here. Hey, as we finish up here, another thing that coaches want to understand is your mental toughness. Talk to these coaches a little bit about how you about your mental toughness and how you prepare each week for a game.
My mental toughness is really good. Like I said, I don't let one play just disrupt my entire game. What was the other part?
No, you answered it. No, just understanding how that makes you, you're being mentally tough and overcoming adversity and the highs and lows of a typical game.
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit about, you've already kind of mentioned your uncle, the adversity. So I'll kind of go over that part. You already went over that, but tell me, leadership. Every coach loves how players who are leaders. Tell us your definition of leadership and tell us how you plan on leading going into your senior year.
Definitely accountability and people looking up to you. You know, you can't be, slacking around, not coming to practice and stuff like that. You know, you gotta just set the example for people.
Okay, good stuff. And as we finish up here, every coach loves a competitive player. For these coaches that haven't met you yet or haven't recruited you yet, tell them how competitive you are in playing football.
I'm competitive in everything, even Monopoly, words can exchange, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, lastly, as we finish up here, Sean, I appreciate your time doing a great job here, but we always have to finish up. There's a term in business called an elevator pitch. It's when you have 15 to 30 seconds in front of somebody very important that could either invest in your company or really help out your career. These coaches now look in this camera right now and tell them, for coaches that aren't on you or haven't offered you yet, why they should recruit you and what you're going to bring to their program.
Y'all should recruit me because, I'm like we said, 6'5", 222. I would say about 4'5", 9. You can put that in there. I would bring a lot to their school right now. Definitely probably turn the program around. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff, man. Well, hey, I appreciate your time. If you have any questions going forward, consider me a resource. I'm looking forward to seeing you compete upcoming here in the spring and summer, and definitely in the next year. Tell your dad I said what's up, and like I said, have a great night, and I'll be seeing you soon. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
All right.
Hey, quick question. Are you still on?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.